Hi, and welcome to this channel. Let's talk about healing your inner traumas and hurts. Why is it important to heal your inner traumas and hurts? Because if you don't, it will be used against you. It will be legal ground for the devil to bring attacks on you. Therefore, it is not just important, it is crucial to heal, critical in fact, to heal your inner traumas and hurts. Let's talk about it. So in the previous videos, I talked about my experience of how God completely healed me from depression. And I started to go into the root cause of why depression came in. And of course, this healing your inner traumas and hurts is one of the tools that God equipped me with so that to heal me from depression. I talked about journaling as one of the tools, like the earliest tools that God taught me. The other one was realizing that I have a power or God-given ability to actually silence the negative thoughts and voices. The third one is healing your inner traumas and hurts, and that's what we're talking about in this video. At certain points in my life, I didn't feel seen, I didn't feel heard, and so it really affected me, like the way I saw myself. It made me have a lot of self-doubt, a lot of feelings, that feeling of unworthiness. You wonder if the value that you have, if it's good to bring it to the world. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but you have like God-given abilities, you have skills you have acquired along the way, but I wasn't able to articulate that and in a way that brings value very well, because I always felt a sense of, there was that underlying feeling of unworthiness. And I think it was because I've come to believe now, or to see, or to realize now, that it was based on the environments that I was in. You may have a skill, you may have an ability, but if the environment around you doesn't see that as valuable or doesn't deem that as valuable, it may lead you to think that what you're offering is not worthy or is not valuable. So that's what happened to me. I didn't get a lot of affirmations with regards to decisions I made, with regards to things, the abilities I had. So it created a lot of it brought in room, it created room for a lot of self-doubt and a lot of feelings of unworthiness. And because of that, because there was already an underlying feeling of unworthiness, that's when I feel like there was a legal ground for depression to come in. And then of course together with the suicidal ideations or thoughts, because then deep down, or rather somewhere, there was a part of me that felt like there's nothing I'm giving that's worthy. And when the suicidal thoughts come and whisper something like, you're not even worthy, see, it was also almost collaborating with the already underlying feeling of unworthiness. And so how I healed, or rather God enabled me to heal the inner traumas and hurts, that specific one that sort of brought in depression, or rather brought in depression or allowed depression to come in, it was some sort of like a legal ground for depression to come in, is I attacked it with the truth. I talked about it in previous videos, but the realization that I am not my own. As a human being, according to Genesis 1:26, I am created in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, I came from God. My origin is God. My sustenance, according to Psalms 139 verse 16, is God. My sustenance is God. Psalms 139 verse 16 says, God's eyes saw our unformed bodies. All the days ordained for us were written in God's book before even one of them came to be. So my origin is God, Genesis 1:26 to 28. And my sustenance is God, Psalms 139 verse 16. And my destiny is also God, according to Ephesians 12:7, that says, the body will, when we die, the body will go back to the ground from where it was molded from, and the spirit will go back to God who created it. So the understanding that my origin is God, my sustenance is God, and my destiny is God healed me from that underlying feeling of unworthiness. And then I started to understand that my worth does not come from what I do or what I have. It's good to have those things, absolutely have them. It's good to, work. It's good to, have that fulfillment through work. It's important. We were created to work, but our worth does not come from a job. Your worth does not come from what you do or what you have, because if that is ever taken away, it will mess up with you. It will throw you off guard. So just understanding that my worth as a human being comes from God, and that I am worthy. You and I are worthy as human beings simply because we exist. That's crazy. It's crazy even to believe, but it's true. You're worthy simply because you exist. And we'll talk about purpose in the next video, that you realize you already have your purpose. You just hadn't recognized it. We'll talk about that in the next video. But staying with the healing your inner traumas and hurts. So when I healed, from those traumas and hurts as one of the tools that God equips me with, I realized that you heal your inner traumas and hurts through truth. And it's usually truth from what God says about you. You have to always go back to Genesis 1:26, the beginning. God made you and I as human beings in his own image and in his own likeness. So we are worthy simply because he thought us out in his mind, and we exist. So we exist. The things that he puts on our way, we are stewards, so that you don't think that thing brings you value, So it's important to heal your inner traumas and hurts. And you heal your inner traumas and hurts using the truth. You attack it with the truth. Like for me, I felt like I didn't bring value, and yet I have even still have God-given abilities, skills I had learned throughout, and yet there was always that feeling of unworthiness, because there was a lot of self-doubt, created in me because of, you don't feel affirmed in the things you do. So you wonder, are these things even valuable? I remember there was a time I would even ask God, why did you give me things that are not valuable? And I repent for that. And it was so wrong for me to say that. But again, sometimes you have to express it so that you get the real answer. You get truth, So I remember asking God, why is it that I keep offering this and it feels like it's not valuable? And then I started to realize, when you give certain skills or abilities in an environment where it's not appreciated, it would make you think that what you have is not valuable, simply because it's in an environment where it's not being valued. So heal your inner traumas and hurt through attacking it with the truth. You are worthy simply because you exist, simply because you were spoken into existence, simply because the one who created you wants you to be alive, simply because the one who created you sees value in you beyond what you do or what you have. Anyway, he's the one who owns the earth and everyone and everything in it. So heal your inner traumas and hurts. And how you heal your inner traumas and hurts is that you attack, because usually it's a stronghold of probably lies. I was not valuable because I have this, or I don't have this, or I do this, or I don't do this. I am valuable simply because the one who created me sees me as valuable. And I had to sort of level up to that reality, or rather level up to that truth, in order to heal that hurt or that trauma that was inflicted at some point in my life. Inner traumas look like bitterness. Inner traumas look like unforgiveness. Inner traumas, because if you don't heal, as I spoke about it in my own story, when I didn't know that I had a trauma of a lack of probably affirmation, then there was that feeling of unworthiness and a lot of self-doubt. It then gave legal ground for things like depression to come in, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations, because already there was a feeling of unworthiness. So it gave that legal ground. So heal your inner traumas so that you don't give legal ground for attacks. So yeah, that's the other tool that I learned in my healing journey, which was a process and not an instant healing. As I've talked about it in previous videos, it was a process of being equipped with tools to be able to deal with the low moments when they come, because unfortunately they are part of life. But heal your inner traumas and hurts, and you'll be able to approach life from a more whole place, so a more healed place. So yeah, see you in the next one.